Okay, I guess I gotta add me to the stream. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Hola, 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 hola. Hi everyone. How are you this evening? As you guys can see, I am not in the lily pad. I'm in my workroom. It was a long day. Long, long, long day. Just making sure you guys are aware. I'm here. I did have a headache. Um, whew. Um, I'm feeling a little bit better, but it's slow going and stuff. I really don't know what the headache is about. I started off this morning. I had a headache. I took a blood pressure pill. My blood pressure is fine. A few hours go by, I'm noticing I'm still having a headache. It's not going away. So the next thing I did, obviously, we take some headache medication. A couple hours go by, I still feel like, I don't know. Anyway, it was a long day at work. Y'all know she got a thing called a job now. Oh, and I'm working. Oh, that's even worse. Um, and so, the frustrations that come from work and things. You guys know I was off from work because, um, I've been stressed to the max. Ended up having a stroke, and while I was out for dealing with PTSD related TIA, my brother passed and stuff. So, she back at work. I was off, and I think we all need that break and things like that. But being off from work doesn't help you appreciate work. So no matter how good the job, I do get a chance to diamond paint and things like that, and I'm appreciative. I'm so appreciative that I get a chance to do that. What are you guys appreciative of? Just kind of jumping right in while you guys are responding to that. Let me know what the weather's like in your neck of the woods. It was 109 today. I'm just, whew, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. So I'm going to show you guys. I have finished my canvas a couple of different times. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Um, while I'm while I'm getting you guys all set up, let me go back and say hello. My nuts in the house. She says, "Hey, all here," but I'm resting and listening. It was 86 today. It's 74 now with a chance of thunderstorms. It did rain today. My daughter was on her way home from her school. Y'all know she a teacher, and she was telling me it's raining. She wasn't happy. Kayleen, hola, Kayleen. How are you doing this evening? My gal. Hi, Gail. Gail's here. Marla's in the house. Hola. Hey, everyone. It's been nice and sunny all day in Columbus. It's 73. Okay, well, that sounds perfect for me. Perfect weather. Gail says it's 79 in my neck of Missouri. Okay. What's up, Jer Bear? Jer Bear said, I hope that doesn't mean that I'm getting sick. Y'all know I've been sick enough in 2026. Um, he says, howdy everyone, 80 and sunny. Woo, woo, woo. Um, it's 102 today. We're praying for rain. Oh, Kayleen, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. Hey, have you tried Sprite and tea yet? It's got mixed reviews. I have not. I have not. I have heard it, obviously we're doing the lemonade mixed with tea. I have heard of Sprite and tea. I wonder what that would taste like. I like tea. Sprite is not my first drink that I go to, so I'm wondering how I would appreciate it. But it probably would be refreshing in hot weather, is what I'm thinking. What you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you, Matt? What's up, Matt? Actually, I managed to make it for the first time in a bit. Thank you for coming in. Hope you're doing all right. What you working on? When we last spoke, you were supposed to be doing an Ever Shine. Matt, did you ever start or finish your Ever Shine? Melinda's in the house. She's saying hi, Matt. Mary, what's up, Mary? How you doing? Let's see. Everyone is saying hi to Matt. Hola, 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 Rhonda. How are you, Rhonda? Love you. Love you, love you. Jay Leely's in the house. Hot as. Well, I would like you to finish that. I would love to know where you was going with that. It's still very hot here, but today I'm appreciative of the fact that there was some overcast type of cover. Okay. Hola, Tia. It's 67 now. It's gonna rain tomorrow. Well, Dawn, that seems to be quite perfect weather. Congratulations. Project completion. Yahoo. Well, I completed it a couple different times. I can't pick it up. If I pick it up, I'm not done. I got to start again. So I'm going to show you guys a picture of why. I tried to pick it up. That's why I was late. Tried to pick it up. I was going to hold it up and show you guys. Okay, yay, we're going to celebrate. But I'm going to tell you that right now, I'm still living in 2018. So y'all just, give me some grace. Give me some grace. It will probably rain tomorrow because I washed my car today. I tried that last week, Melinda, and sadly didn't work. It was the low 80s during the day, but it's 70 now. Oh, I bet that's a nice, relaxing 70. In Ohio, y'all got the lightning bugs sitting out on the porch. So, well, it's later than that. There's 7 here. It's about 10 there. It's nice here lately, hanging in the 70s. Okay, that's perfect weather for me. I go and chase 70. So as soon as it hit 100, 105, it's been, it had dropped down below 100 for a little over a week. And I did get some sample pins out, sending them out to some giveaway winners and things, because I told them, I just don't have the ability with the weather so hot. Soon as I'm able to make you guys some, I'm going to add some samples, and I was able to do that. So, and then it went right back up to like 105. It's been 109 for the last few days. It's crazy. Definitely crazy. We have a cool down coming, only 79 by the weekend. I know that's going to be great. It's threatening rain here. It's sprinkled, That's like a blink in the eye, or you get an eyelash in your eye, and when you wipe it away, it's back hot. That's what, a little bit of rain is like here. I'm still the same as my week 3 post, but over halfway. Okay. Well, you're coming along. You still got until, what is it, next Tuesday, I believe it is. All right, you guys, I'm going to, let me share, and bring y'all into my world. All righty. This is probably good as it gets. Y'all see these little flecks right here? These little flecks missing. Okay, I go. It's all Rhonda's fault. I'm blaming Rhonda because I don't have anybody else to blame. I go pick it up, like, oh, it's cute. And those flecks fell off. So I'm just letting y'all know I got diamonds here. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That's like the 3rd time that's happened. It's 2018, sorry, all over again here. So just making sure, though, that I keep you guys posted. You go ahead. It's all my fault. I had to blame somebody, Rhonda. I was sitting there like, are you kidding me? I was so upset. Just trying to get over it. It's all the best I can. And so, unfortunately, a few of my diamonds. That's the 3rd time that this has happened, though. Willow Bliss' first birthday was Saturday. I didn't get a lot done on my painting. Spoiled the baby. There you go. What'd you get her? I bet she got some good stuff. Have y'all ever been to any of Jared Bear's birthday parties for his fur babies, his loved ones? Like he'll open the gift, he shows you what it, and then he shows them like kind of going off to go kind of enjoy their gifts and play with their gifts. Gotta love it. I love that. I love to see interaction with pet owners and their loved ones. So continue that. Keep it going. Keep it going. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys that. Yes, indeedy. That's where we are there. Now, I haven't done this in a while. I used to always show you guys what's in my cart. So I definitely I don't know if I want to show you everything in my cart, But I am definitely trying to enable people. I have been on Facebook, and one of the things I am noticing about Facebook is we are getting excited. I tried to get Rhonda to do this with me, but Rhonda hit me with a not gonna do it. Nope, um, but I tried. Anyway, I am trying to get her to join me in that was that big challenge, the one where what is it called, mega drill, I think, the mega drill challenge. I'm trying, y'all, work with me. As I'm not having much luck, but I have definitely been trying. Okay, so I think the reason that I am interested so much is because um, you don't feel rushed and things like that. My largest canvas to date, I believe it was 142 by 40 or 142 by 60. I can't really remember the size. I have to look it up. But it was a landscape. It was beautiful. It was a lot of fun. And it only took me 6 weeks. That was back when, I mean, my heart, my soul, everything, relied heavily on diamond painting. As soon as I got off from work, I remember, if y'all ever remember, I used to have this turquoise and dark blue duster outfit. That's why I got the, turquoise butterflies in my dark blue, just kind of taking it back to the old days, because that's what we do here for the collab blast from the past. We kind of relive the past. Long story short, I got off from work and I went and I ate. And then I went to my diamond paintings, and it was almost like punching into a different, clock and things like that. But I got to sit there, and I had company. My mom might come and join me, or my kids would come and join me. And while we laughing, yucking it up, and things like that, I'm plucking and things. I really don't have a setup like that now, and that might be. I know that Rhonda was talking about, how do we kind of revisit, how do we go back and kind of connect and things like that. So that's, for me, part of my blast from the past is not only did I go back to 2018, but also just kind of remembered, especially through these headaches that I was having with these drills, what connected me and things like that to diamond painting and things. So as I move forward, maybe working on a longer canvas, keep me tuned in. I'm sorry. I just touched one of these diamonds and it feel like it's coming up. Let me go ahead and put this down real quick before I forget, bump it, and send a whole row flying. Um, Now y'all know my girl Lizzie, she having problems also. Lizzie gluing as she goes at this point. I didn't have any glue, so I didn't have the ability. But just kind of reconnecting and things like that. And one of the canvases I really remember, I took it to heart, was this long canvas. I did it with my sister Rebecca. Rebecca and I both worked on the same canvas. Took me 6 weeks. Took her about 8 weeks. Because she does other, at the time she was doing a lot of other crafts and things like that, but got it done. It was my, what I call, labor of love. And so now I'm revisiting, what does 2027 look like. How many of you guys here in the chat are going to be participating in the hashtag Make a Drill Challenge 2027? Or what other collabs are you looking for? Now, I'm still doing Blinging in the New Year, Love is in the Air, Splish Splash Spring Bash, and next year's Blast from the Past. But obviously, my rules are there ain't no stinking rules. So you be welcome to bring those along. And I'm also going to be one of the sponsors for Ticket to Ride, officially a sponsor for Ticket to Ride. And we're going to see what all Cheryl got planned for me, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot. So with that said, because all of these collabs are coming up, because I'm dreaming big, y'all, I want to share with y'all just a moment of what's in my cart. I don't really have these in my cart, but I'm pretty sure I'm about to put a whole bunch of them in there. So we're going to talk about it. All right, let's see. It didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Tia, get your craft together. Where you at? It's not sharing. Hold on one moment. Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. I'm going to turn these comments off for a second. All right. Y'all see this? Do y'all see this? Look at this. I hope we looking at the same page first of all, because I can't see. That's that's why having a laptop is helpful. Are we looking at the same page? Is it scrolling? I don't know if it's scrolling. Thread art. Oh, this is the wrong page. Yeah, that's why nothing's happening. What page is this? Okay. Sorry, y'all. That's cross stitch. Yes, I'm cross stitching too. I don't have any canvases that qualify. I don't think I have any that actually qualify either. We're just gonna have a lot of fun shopping though. New toys, bone pup cup with a milk bone biscuit on the top. Ooh, woo! She's gonna be chewing for days on that. The Mega Drill Challenge event. Nope. Listen, I tried. Rhonda. I tried. I've ordered my Mega Drill. Look at Marla. I can't wait to see what Marla got. I'm pretty sure it's good. Um, and Dipping Time says, which one are you planning on and from where? Listen, I don't have anything that I'm planning. We in the infancy stages at this point. When I say infancy, it literally is just you talking. I'm just talking. Melinda says I don't have any canvases that qualify. Hello, sis. Just was talk. What was the size? You remember that big giant canvas that we did? We did a collab. It's been probably 4, maybe 5 years. It was the big landscape. Do you remember the measurements on that, sis? The closest one I have that would qualify is 195 cm overall. That's a lot. I'm just gonna be honest. That's just a lot. It's a lot. All right, so I'm gonna have to close some of these. Y'all know how y'all click on one thing in Temu and you got 18 different pages and things like that. So what I gotta do, I gotta just close out some pages. I'm sorry. So while I'm doing that, what's the largest canvas anybody can rein in? What's the largest canvas you have in your stash? And obviously, we don't just have to do, what's in our stash. We might can purchase some things also. We might can purchase some things. Um, just making sure you guys find so 40 by 80. That just feels so. I thought it was a lot bigger. You mean inches? 40 inches by 80 inches? I thought it was 142 or something like that by 40 or 130 by 40. Oh, that's it. No, that was the name of it. Fine Soft Day. Listen, I guess no wonder it only took 6 weeks because it's a lot smaller than I thought it was. um, all righty, let's see where we are. Let's see where we are. Here we go. These, I believe, are large diamond paintings from Temu. All right, I'm keeping it budget conscious. I'm thinking about, hey, what are the odds that if, so we doing what's in your cart, but we're doing it, tastefully. Okay. 50 by 100 is the largest to date. I have the old shoe house and it's giant. So I have the old shoe house also, Marla. When you get the let me know what that is. That will save me some money and things like that. I've never opened it, so I guess I really wouldn't know. But yeah. Alrighty, so here we go. We're gonna go back. These are obviously these are all diamond paintings. Okay, they're large diamond paintings. Most of them come either 100 by 50 or 200 cm by 80. Obviously, this would be 200, and then this side would be, it'll show you in the picture and things like that. So you guys know I like water. This is 200 by 80. And as you can see, here will be the price and things like that. I don't know what this $6.72 is. That's totally not the price. It's $36.54 or something like that. Okay, I'm just making sure we all on the same page. And here is the image itself. Now, you guys know whenever I show you guys an image, I am always conscious. It didn't go big. One moment. I didn't know that if it went big, you gotta go to a new screen. Look at that. Ain't this something else? I gotta be my own production crew here. Okay, hold on one second. Sorry about that. It went big, but it left me on the screen. I gotta go to the. Okay, here we go. Now we on the same page. Let's see what's coming up. Let's see what's coming up. Still no dice. Still no dice. If you don't put this picture in the screen, I don't know. Maybe I gotta pay. I gotta pay more. Maybe. Okay. It could have. Is here we go. Now is it 200 cm or 200 centimeter around the perimeter? So as far as I know, the the two sides need to add up to 200 centimeters. So you have, in essence, a 100 by 100. 100 plus 100 equals 200. That is how it looks on their site. Okay. And they're giving you examples. So one example was 140 on one side by 60 on the second. 140 plus 60 is 200. And so that is the example that they're showing. Old shoe house is 105 by 70. So I have that, but that makes it a total of 175 cm. So we 25 off. That's huge. That's huge. I didn't realize it was that big. I do have the old shoe house, this old shoe house, or it's cute, but whew, goodness gracious. So that's what caused me to start looking to see like what everyone, that is correct. Overall size must equal 200 centimeters. Extra point if it is over 200 centimeters. Marla says it's not big enough. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not big enough. So wanted to kind of show you guys, what the canvases and things like that are looking like. Obviously, that's important. It's definitely important and things like that. So, got a quick little video that it shows you how, this looks normal. We getting the diamonds and things. What I don't like is it does say it's two sizes. Obviously, the one size is 150. The second size is 200 cm. So you'll see right here, it's telling you that this measures 100 centimeters, but that the actual artwork is 95 centimeters. Okay. And then down across the bottom, the canvas is 50 cm wide, but this isn't large enough anyway, because it would have only been 150 cm. But you have to move over here, even though it's 195 by 75, that's enough to get you the 200 centimeters and things. So it's showing you the size, but it still is not showing you the rendering. I like to see the rendering, and obviously these don't show you that. So you're still kind of on your own when it comes to like the quality and things like that. But just wanting to show you guys that there are some cost effective, as you can see, the two sizes are here. There are some I went for this store because I've seen a lot of them, and you can click on all the items in the store. Since I'm on the page, I'll show you. And then when you click on all the items in the store, it'll show you other items that they have. And here's the price. It say clearance deal. I'm not sure why it's on clearance at all whatsoever. But look at this waterfall. Now y'all know this is gorgeous, and I like a landscape. It didn't go big. I'm sorry, y'all. One moment. Again, I'm my own production crew. Y'all not seeing? Hold on, stop. And here we go. I'm gonna get you in. I'm going to do it. Here we go. Let's see if it shares. What are we doing? Look at this, y'all. I'm gonna make it big, but again, when I make it big, is it gonna really go big? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do this. I don't know if it showed you guys. Does it? What does it do? It did. We in business. It showed you guys. Look at this water. This is great. This is gorgeous. Not sure I want this bird here, you know, or this fox, whatever that is, you know. Like the water. Um, I like, life. A couple of these butterflies, one butterfly, all this beautiful, you know. I do like a nice mountain off in the background. I would like to see the trail of the water a little bit more, But again, you know, it's giving you the option to go big or go home when it comes to your canvases and things like that. So, what do you guys think? Yeah, it's not $5.48. Again, it's going to be 33.48. Just so you're aware. You don't want anybody thinking Tia over here saving us money. Not doing that. It's not. That's not the real price. That's not the real price. Alrighty. So we are looking at. Let me go back. Okay. Some of y'all's comments. Mary says, I have when the clock strikes 12. It's 163.8 by 65. Mary, you are good to go. You can go ahead and kick that up. Rhonda says, yes, that one works. And we'll give you an extra point for being over 200 centimeters. Melinda says, if I ordered one from a budget friendly, with my luck, if it's not good quality, I will be stuck in misery for a very, very long time. We don't want you to do that. That's why we over here, we reviewing, we family. We doing this as a family, right? If I were to do one that large, I would want it to be hand rendered to eliminate the unnecessary confetti and have the detail. It would be so expensive and just can't do it right now. I know. I took the deflate when you gave it to me what was it, over the weekend. I felt every bit of your no. That would be me. Melinda says, and I just finished a smaller canvas that was double-sided tape, overly pixelated, and I'm not sure if I want to jump into a headache like that again anytime soon. I get it. I get it. I think we had agreed to do these headaches together, and I appreciate that you were willing to work with me and go through this trying time that we had, 2018 coming into 2019 when it comes to diamond painting. You were definitely in it for the craft aspect, not the artistry aspect. Now, one of the reasons why this collab is, here is because what I noticed was when I went back and I worked on a piece from that time. That's why you see me doing smaller ones. I have a couple that were like 60 by 80s. Mostly my comfort spot was 40 by 50. I had a lot of 30 by 20s and things like that. Some smaller. I did do like some 20 by, I think they were 20 by 15s. They, started making them for panels and things so that you would have 5 of them and things. But the sweet spot really was like 40 by 50 and things. And I'm scared to, really jump on one of those and things. What I do notice is that when I get through the headache of one of my old canvases, and last year I did 3. I only did the 1 this year, and it was so headache ridden. I'm just gonna do the 1. But I will say that it does give you the appreciation for the art aspect of diamond painting. And so it makes me excited to move on to do other more premium canvases and things. So I hope that that's what you're experiencing as you guys come through your older canvases. Some of you may not have gone back as far as I did. I went that far back because what do? I bought these canvases for the cuteness factor. Let's be honest. When we first start building our stashes, it's that's cute. And then we were shopping AliExpress, we were shopping Wish, Alibaba. And so at that point, you could add a few cute items into your shopping cart and things. Now, you know, when you paying premium top dollar, you might get that one canvas. That one. When you buy that one canvas, you want everything right. You want the glue to be immaculate. You want a smooth experience when it comes to laying down your drills. You want your drills to be beautiful, spectacular. I'm going to tell you guys the headache. Let me see if I can. The headache that I have in these horrible drills. I have thrown so many drills away. Let me see if I can get it out of the light. When I tell you they are a headache, let me show y'all my 310s. I ended up having to pull out. I've run out of drills. Like, how can one little dinky canvas, little and dinky, how can one little dinky canvas run out of at least 3 colors? This is a 30 by 20. Y'all know I don't even open mine, but I'm just thinking what would have occurred. Where is my, hold on one second. I might have took it in the other room, but so I'm going to show y'all what these 310s look like. I had to go find other 310s. I don't know if y'all remember grinders. Y'all remember needing to grind drills because they were doubled. I'm trying to see if y'all can see. My camera is not focusing. I'm so sorry. These are, you see the little nibs? You see they look broken? When I tell you, like, these drills are real super thick. They're so thick, you know, you looking at them, it's 2 of them. They look like they glued together. I remember having to grind drills. You know, I haven't had to do that in so long. So that is what buying a premium canvas does. It kind of takes that headache away. These are 310s. I'm sorry if y'all can't see. These were just 310s. And look at the residue in the bottom because the drills were that broken. They were that horrible. You know, the surf. Oh, when I tell you, again, I go to pick the canvas up and it sounds like change or something hitting my desk and stuff. They just falling off and stuff. So, you know, I worked through the headache. I definitely did. I just, you know, took it back to Tom. But I didn't want to give up on diamond painting. I really appreciate the fact that I have had an opportunity to work with more premium canvases. And so that just making me look forward to working with something newer, something, you know, more premium and things. So we'll see. Melinda says, thank you, Rhonda. It was a gift for one of my kids, and it was haunting me and making me feel guilty all these years. It was in, especially if they see it. I understand. I appreciate, especially if they see it. If you have something that comes out and when you first got it, I'm gonna make this for you, and then you never get around to doing it, that guilt does haunt you. So kudos to you for pulling it out, you know, for being able to get it taken care of, you know, glue it down, seal it really good, put it behind a glass. You don't even have to go out and get a premium, you know, you don't have to get it, you know, put into like a premium framing and things like that. Don't get you one of them little $9.95 joints from Walmart. Put it behind some glass, or what do they call that? You remember when everybody was putting up that plastic, what is it, like acetate type plastic? Talking about all you gotta do is spritz it down. It was making, you know, masks and things out of it. Go and put it behind one of those. That's all we want to do is just protect it from falling off. And yeah, and hang it up. I think you did a great job. It came out beautiful. Exactly, T. It felt like a mountain was lifted off my back when I put that last drill in that thing. Girl, I put my last drill in 3 times. Just go on and get it. I think I'll dry mount it and hang it in the utility. There you go. Look at you. You got somewhere to hang it already. So I don't know. This is going in probably in my son's room. My son he's like me, he's really heavily into Asian culture, Asian cuisine, and things like that. So probably definitely go in his room. Plus, he is a diamond painter. He appreciates the art. And I'm telling you right now, I could not get him. He tried. We pulled out one of his old canvases. He'd come in here because I diamond paint while I work. Thankfully, I do have the ability to do that now, so I am getting a lot done. And he came in here one day, and I have three desks in here, and it's a it's a lot. This used to be my playroom, my workroom, and my bedroom all in one. So he comes in here and he got the desk like he's going to sit here and diamond paint while I'm working, in between calls and things. And I'm telling you, he got up in like 10, 15 minutes. He was like, "Mama, you on your own." So I got left alone. When I frame, I don't use glass at all anymore. There you go. I don't think I ever did. Obviously early on, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021, when I diamond painted and made, I gifted a lot of my artwork away. So coming into latter 2021, going into 2022, now these are mine. People tired of getting diamond paintings for gifts and things like that. So I gotta keep it real, right? This yours. You working on it, you keep it. The other thing that I noticed that people were starting to do, this really would, so I started customizing probably latter 2019. I was starting to customize and kind of design my, flair, put in, parts of me into my diamond paintings and things. And it really awakened, a lot more fun because you're putting your own flair, your own representation, and you're making the project and you're enhancing it, but to your likes, to your taste and things like that. So I'm enhancing the projects. These are now for me. And what I hated was I started to get requests. When you make this for me, can you go ahead and no, I can't go ahead and do that. You want all of that done. You gonna have to do it yourself. You pick up a pen and you join me, but I started to get a lot of requests. Family don't care. They think that, well, since you've been giving us gifts and things like that, now, we want to add to, we want customized gifts also. So that also can start to kind of weigh on you, take your craft and your fun from being for you to now being another clock that you punch and things. So that's one thing that I do. I appreciate, this collab because it definitely takes me back. It's a blast from the past, but I am so looking forward, so looking forward to, kind of moving on from here to some premium canvases and things, kind of enjoying the diamond painting experience and things like that. I did work on earlier this summer. I worked on an Amazon painting. Um, it was fine. I didn't have too many problems with it at all whatsoever. It was a smaller canvas. It was 30 by 30. So because it was a 30 by 30, it went fast and it was around. So you guys know I do get a little more pleasure out of working with squares. What do you guys like? Have you decided, like, even going back in time, back then I bought a lot more rounds and things like that. As I started to move forward with premium canvases, I enjoyed the square experience just a lot more. The detail, it's not as pixelated. It's more clear. If you're doing a diamond painting and you're comparing the 30 by 30 with the 30 by 30 square and round, you will definitely see that the square has a little bit more detail. It's not as, I guess, blurry, not as pixelated as we say. And so my experience as I started to spend a little bit more on diamond paintings, I just drifted naturally to square. When it does come to buying more of the budget friendly canvases, I do notice that a lot of them, especially on Temu, they come in round. So trying to find something that's square is very difficult. Going large like that 200 by or 200 by 80 is what it's saying on the site, but going large like that will allow a round probably to give you more detail than normal. And so Gail says, I prefer square, but if I really like the image, a round will do. I think if the image was large, so if I buy a 60 by 80 in a square, I probably I'm just gonna need maybe 100 by 80, in a round. But I probably still would do it. Now I will say rounds move a lot faster. I just am able to get rounds done a little bit faster than I am squares. Um, but since I have a preference for squares, that must tell you that I don't care about the amount of time that it takes to get it done. That, might just be more of the experience. One of the things that I was starting to appreciate, and it took me back, was as I was starting to get closer to being done with my canvas, I started to hear that pop. You guys know, as we get closer towards the end and we're finishing up, we're going around, especially with the squares, you're hearing the as you fit in the diamonds and things like that in. Now, sometimes when you hit a, you popping and things like that, they're coming up in other areas. That happened quite a bit also. So, more headache and things like that. But before I move this completely, I will have to seal it. So anybody in here still sealing their canvases? And if you are, what are you using? When you first started, did you have to seal? And if so, what did you use? I remember I remember Tombow, and I also remember Mod Podge and things. I've been looking, I can't find any of it. I'm pretty sure I threw it away or got old and dried out and things like that. So now I have to go out. You seal every one of your diamond paintings you seal. I haven't sealed a diamond painting in probably 5 years. Now the one that I'm the so I can't remember which one, but I think it was the Winnie the Pooh from last year. I did end up. Oh, you use Minwax. I got a ton of that around here. I used to seal my pens with polyacrylic gloss, and after a while, it would break down. But mostly because we were touching it so much, I didn't think about using it to seal diamond paintings. That was a good call out right there, Marla, because I got plenty of it here. Yeah, I've been using resin on my pens for probably 3 years now. But before that, I used to, seal them with polyacrylic. I used to use the gloss so it can have a shine, and it would look beautiful. But obviously, the oils and natural minerals and things that come out of our touch would break it down. So over time, I would get people asking if I could reseal their pen for them, or would get so soft in one of the valleys that it would, break and things like that from the pressure and stuff. Now, resin over the pen, resin adds to the durability of it and things. So definitely, great idea. I think it's Crashly. She started using resin first. She brought it over to my boy Billy, and then Billy was like, "Yeah, you got to jump on this. You got to jump on it." So I didn't at first, but I seal all of them now. Huh. Well, I'm gonna definitely. I don't know about all of them, but I'm definitely sealing all of these older ones and things like that. Does it make the canvas hard? What about the drill shine? So that is the one thing that you're bringing out, Rhonda, that I noticed. That's why I didn't seal, because it took away the shine completely. And I tried Mod Podge. I definitely tried Tombow. One of the things that I started to buy, the Ailing's acrylic spray. I started using that on some of my budget friendly canvases and things like that. But again, it took the shine out and things. But I remember I used to take out my easel, and I used to put them on my patio, and I would be out there spraying them down. I'd leave them out for, the whole day so it can dry and things like that. As soon as I brought it back in, Like, what happened to the shine? Like, even though you're working on a round, and a round got like 26 facets, so you should really see some sparkle. It just it would take it away. It fills in those crevices and things. So I don't know, but in order to retain the the canvas so that all of the diamonds don't fall off, I do have to do something and things like that. So I'm okay. I tried one time to use Mod Podge glitter and shine, or glitter and gloss, or something it was called. Don't ever use that. The flecks of glitter that go in, oh my God, it made the canvas look so horrible. It wasted all my time. I did a Disney castle, and it was large. It was like a 50 by 60 or something like that, and I wasted my whole time. I remember I went in and cleaned it up with a wipe, because I used to go and clean up with the wipe so it didn't look cloudy in between the crevices and things like that. I did that, and it was still horrible and things. So make sure you guys let me know what sealer you're using. I'm interested, definitely. I would definitely be on, top of it and things. So yeah. Have you guys tried any other tools? So the other thing that you guys see me kind of thinking about, and I'll go back and show my picture, is a moment, is the finishing. One of the things that you guys have probably noticed over time is that when I finish a canvas, um, just waiting on it to come. I don't know why it's doing this. But when I finish a canvas, I usually kind of go around the outer edge of the canvas with like washi tape or something. If you don't show up and help me, I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm waiting. It's just taking a little longer. I do apologize. I'm sorry. Um, Here we go. If y'all see at the very top, that is washi tape. So for me, and I got a ton of washi tape around here. So one of the things that I'm trying to debate on is, should I finish this with washi tape? A few weeks ago, the painting that I made for Rebecca, I I painted around the outside of the edge of the canvas. And so one of the things that I'm going to do after I painted around it, I'm just kind of letting it dry, is, kind of put washi tape to kind of buff up against the canvas and things like that. What do you guys think? Like, obviously, you can finish it. You can put, what do they call those? Matte pieces. They have like those matte construction paper that people can put around the edge and things like that. But I've always kind of finished them off with washi tape, kind of glue it down to the that tip came from Mrs. Coffee. See, you can roll the canvas for shipping after sealing. I just slowly roll mine up around a rolling pin. Okay. And let's see. I only seal the little crafts, like the ornaments in the little houses. I've used Mod Podge with success, and I've used the clear polyacrylic with success. Okay. That's where she's like, does it make the canvas hard? What about the drill shine? Anything on the drill shine? Um, Anything on the drill shine? Those are great tips that you guys are giving out and things like that. I'm stealing each and every one of them, definitely, and I appreciate that information. Again, how do you kind of finish off if you are going to get yours sealed and things like that? If you're going to get it, how do you finish your edges and things like that off? So I'm definitely thinking about, washi tape around the edge. And then I'm also still considering, I've done this a lot, is I do paint the edge of the canvas, just kind of make it exciting and things. And then after I paint the edge, then I put like a washi tape finish around it. Let's see. I'm like that grandma on the Frank's hot sauce commercial. I put that ish on everything. So, Marla, I think that that's a great tip, though. I really do. I think that's a great tip. Put in the putting the polyacrylic gloss on, sealing, kind of like you said, being able to roll it up and things like that. We're going to see. I'm going to give it a try. I have a ton of men wax around here. I remember somebody, um, was it was one of the mayors. They sent me a box. They were going to get into polymer clay, and they decided against. And they sent me almost a lifetime supply of clay um, items. And so I definitely have a lot of men wax. I wonder how good it is because it's been here for probably 3 or 4 years. But I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna see because I definitely need to be able to pick it up. I want to be able to pick it up and things like that. And I may go back and get the three that I did last year because I remember picking them up and the same thing happening. A few of the drills were coming off, and I just kind of chalked it up because I think it was 2019 or 2020 at that point. But that's what the collab is. It's definitely for me to kind of go back in time for me to kind of work down some of my stash. If you guys didn't know, from that time I had like 116 canvases and things. So these little four, they not doing much. Do I think that I'll ever do them all? No, I don't. I definitely don't. But I do have some cute ones that I wouldn't mind still, giving a try and seeing if I can work through the headaches and things like that. Um, Marla said I cut my edges off and then I mount the diamond painting canvas on a stretch canvas. I've used double-sided Gorilla glue tape and E6000. Now I'm trying a new PVA glue that's not so toxic. Oh, keep us posted, right? Definitely keep us posted. I know that you're active in our group and you post a lot, so continue to post because I'm excited to see kind of where you kind of go with that. I do have, if you guys remember the canvas that I used to have here in my room, it's up on the wall in the lily pad. That is the Snow Princess by Hannah Lynn. And you guys see that that is posted halfway on a stretch canvas. I only put half of it because I just needed enough to be able to hang it up. So I didn't post the bottom half. And if you guys remember, it does have like a blue, glitter blue washi tape going around the edge. So I just didn't paint. I didn't paint the outer edge of that one. If you guys ever saw my Christmas, my is it Hope is Faith? Can't remember which one because I did all three. But it's my Chuck Pinson Christmas. I don't know if it's Love is Faith or Faith is Hope, but one of the three. Um, but I finished the edge around that also and then set it off. I did paint the edge and I set that off with washi tape as well. Now that was a great experience because obviously that was a Diamond Art Club, a premium canvas. So I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Jared Bear. My newest thing is wrapping paper holders. They are like thick slap bracelets. Okay, I remember those. When I roll up a canvas, oh, that's a good idea. I secure it with the wrapping paper holder. Oh, that's such a good idea. I love that. Oh, look at the ideas flowing tonight. Y'all heard it here first. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Yeah, because I'm going to ask everybody that made suggestions to post in the Palm Pal Pens and Friends Facebook page. Make sure you guys are or letting us see some of your suggestions and things. And then obviously, we're going to revisit live from the lily pad on Sunday. Keep in mind, this Sunday is probably going to be the last, even though it won't officially be over, it'll be the last live. Yep, for hashtag Blast from the Past. I know that there are 2 giveaways left. Okay, there are 2 giveaways left, so make sure you guys are posting and communicating in the chat, because obviously there is going to be participation giveaway in the chat. And then there's going to be, where you guys just come out, hang out, have a good time, chit chatting it up on Live from the Lily Pad Sunday. And you'll be able to win just for participating and having a good time in the chat. So a great way for us to end, that live. And then maybe Monday or Tuesday, just give people an opportunity to get their, post in, to kind of comment, share. We are going to have our grand prize giveaway and things like that. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Marla says he's got faith, and yep, faith and hope. So I believe it's love runs deep, but I have all 3 of them. I got faith runs deep, hope runs deep, and I think love. Love Pinson, but his stuff is given. So literally, Marla, a lot of people were like, how come you haven't been, Lizzie especially, how come you haven't been buying a lot of Chuck Pinson lately? The last couple of years, it's like he'll release a painting, and then the next 2 that come out, they will look like they're the continuation of the painting he released before. And so, like Sanctuary, I think I got Sanctuary, and then Sierra, was it Sierra Falls or something that came out, and I'm like, they look similar. They look like they're in the same neighborhood, and if you turned your head, that's the continuation. So hope runs deep, faith runs deep, and love runs deep. I do have all 3 of them. And again, at the time, I guess I didn't see the semblance and things like that, but there was other stuff that was coming out. And then I think, I started to have to break things down. Like, do I want this just because it's Chuck? Or do I want to get this? Because I would cry if it got discontinued and it wasn't part of my art gallery. Yep, that's what I call my collection, just in case you guys are wondering. I call it an art gallery. And so if something were to occur, I don't feel bad if I'm not able to, get to them all, because I collected art for my art gallery. Oh, Tia, you're so funny. Anyway, that's for, what's in your cart. Definitely hadn't done it in a while. Just wanted to kind of get you guys into the mindset. Now, I know there is, a debate. The debate is, AI art versus, hand charted, hand rendered, no, computer charted, hand rendered, and then, artist digital creation and things like that. I know there's a lot of talk about that, and no matter what side of that coin that you land on, I want to always keep in mind that in this day and age, in this climate, this financial climate, there is just sometimes, just to have your sanity and your mental health, sometimes you just have to be true to you and your wallet and your pocketbook, your purse, your budget. And so that's one of the things you very rarely hear me doing, is like going overboard when it comes to, oh, don't do this and you shouldn't do that and things, because I feel like, nobody, for the sake of sanity, for the sake of their own peace of mind, should have to, hide what they are wanting to do and what's bringing them peace and what's bringing them, serenity. So if you see me showing something on Temu, we own Temu. It's budget friendly, and I am not the owner. So I don't want to be condemned because they are selling artwork. I'm just bringing to you a way to help, your peace of mind, your serenity, in a more budget conscious way. Okay, you can't afford $72.99 and something is $6.72. I'm telling you, don't believe that price. But it say it, and it's gonna help you, just kind of relax, relate, woosah. I'm not gonna say the whole sentence because then that's coming from that episode in the late '80s with if y'all didn't know, that was an episode of, was it on A Different World? It was either A Different World or The Cosby Show. And the doctor was trying to help one of the characters relax. They were, experiencing anxiety and things like that. You said it, but not me. That was the third part. Julie saw the episode. So I said, relax, relate, woosah. Okay. And we having our woosah moments and things like that. And sometimes having a budget friendly way to be able to, overcome whatever stress or strife you are enduring. Sometimes that's what we need. That was Whitley from Different World. Look at y'all. Look at y'all. That was her. And I say woosah because I don't want to, how we can be dinged and things like that. That phrase reminds me of my sister Jasmine. Jasmine was her favorite character. Well, I hear they're doing a reboot. Let's jump into what you're watching. I do hear, just for everybody who followed, they are doing a Different World reboot. And it's supposed to be coming on Netflix if it hasn't already. A reboot. Look at you, Dawn. You watching too. So it's going to be coming on Netflix. I'm hearing that there is already early controversy because people are, I guess, the college is going to follow Whitley and Dwayne's daughter. So they've had a daughter, and people aren't paying attention. I've already heard people saying this is Whitley and Dwayne's third child, that she has older siblings and things, and they're like, the timing doesn't add up. How is this the baby that Whitley was pregnant with when she left the show? And so obviously we want to pay attention to the early episodes of the communication and the conversation, because apparently she's not their only child. And people's perception is that she's the child that Whitley was supposedly pregnant with as the final episode when the show went off. So that is what I know. I know it's coming on Netflix and I will be watching it. What a blast from the past that is going to be, to see what those characters' lives went on to be. I hear it's all of them that are, still alive, which is great. That's what we want. We want to know, how they went on to fare and stuff. And so they made their rounds last year. I was really out of it, but they made their rounds. They were going to different schools, colleges, and they were, going through their media reboot last year because people knew that they were going to, be creating this new series and things. And so, we got to see them everywhere. They were all over social media. I do remember that. But obviously the show has come to fruition. And so now the reboot is going to be airing. I want to say it starts in September or October. So y'all check your listings for Netflix. That's where it's coming. Listen to that. I'm like, check your local listings. I never thought that Netflix would be something that we are, proposing. But for Whatcha Watchin, make sure you guys stay tuned for that. The other more exciting show that I wanted to kind of go over, and it's going to be good for you guys. I don't know where I'm reining in on this yet, but Reacher season 4 has already started. Now, Reacher comes on Prime. The issue that I have with it is they're releasing one episode a week. I feel like I'm watching ABC or NBC. I definitely don't feel like I'm watching CBS, but so my son and I watched the first 2 episodes, and then we realized they only releasing one episode a week. I like to binge watch. I do. And so that's what these, like Netflix, Prime, Hulu, that's what they gave us. They gave us the ability to binge watch. They took our attention away from primetime TV where we were waiting till next week to watch the next episode. And now they've jumped in the network TV game. They're producing shows that we must see, that we want to watch. And now, instead of giving us the series, they took us back to network TV where we got to wait a week for the next episode. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? How do you feel? Let's talk about it. Um, let's see. A reboot. Oh, okay. Just making sure I was all caught up on the comments. So, Reacher, that's where we are. I am watching, and I'm behind. I know I'm behind. I'm a week behind on purpose. I am watching this summer's Big Brother, and I will say that I am glued to the TV. I really am. I know it come on Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I am watching it on Sunday evenings from the prior week. So I have not seen this past Sunday, and I won't be watching tonight. So just so you guys are aware, I'm caught up to last week's eviction. And the reason I'm prefacing this is because, I do like to binge watch. I can't just watch one episode at a time. So it does give me an opportunity to watch 3 episodes at a time. And I am in love with the fact that people are not afraid this year to mix it up, to throw, people under the bus, to bust up alliances. First and foremost, everybody was in multiple alliances. I don't know how I feel about that. Y'all, talk to me. But if I'm aligned with you, I feel like these larger alliances, they're there, to get you through 1, maybe 2 weeks and things like that. So I never ever believe that a very large alliance is going to last all the way through. There was only one time that occurred. You guys know I stopped watching. I couldn't believe how it was making me feel conflicted in my feelings. That was the season of the cookout. We talked about that a week or 2 ago. So just make sure you guys were aware. It wasn't a bad idea. I understand the concept behind it. It was when each member of the cookout had to go out and get an individual friend, and they started to bond with their friend, and they wanted to save their friend more than they wanted to be a member. And that conflict, that hurt me. It hurt to see how conflicted it made everybody in this group feel, as well as how, if you were the friend, how you could be feeling. And, kudos to them for being brave enough to bring it out. Discussions and things were had, but I didn't watch the rest of that season. I think they had the whole cookout, and I think they had 3 friends still in the show when I quit watching. And I think about that all the time. Somebody asked me at one point, would I ever go back in and watch the rest? And I don't know. I don't think I would, because I remember when they were starting to question, like, it's funny, but it's only, so many of us left. And, and so again, great when it comes to strategizing, which is what the game is all about. It was a great strategy and things like that. But implementation and how it would impact people, it started to matter and things. So if you guys are watching that show, this year, they're just doing some amazing, work when it comes to their strategies. And if they have power, they're not afraid to utilize it, is what I'll say. They're not afraid. I love that they're not afraid and things. Julie says, I'm thinking that's where the money is. Weekly episodes. Now that they have us all subscribed, they can go old school broadcast and make the bucks. Julie, I'm telling you right now, I agree 100%. I am sitting here like my son, he was upset. We watched Reacher together. And so he was like, Mom, did you pull up? Like, you can pull it up and you can see when the next episode is released. And it's showing 1 a week into September. And I said, why are they doing that? The first 2 years, Reacher, you got the whole season, Then the third year, last year, what they did was they did like 3 episodes at a time. So it was like three, or something like that. But you still got the ability, not this year. Not this year. And it took longer to come out. I feel like it should have been out in like January or sometime in the spring. And it didn't come out until the end of July, beginning of August. And so I'm like, what is going on? But like you said, it's moving back more to broadcast and things. Um, Jared Barrett says, I'm waiting for Marshalls and Dutton Ranch. So those are the two series that in the fall, not the fall, towards the end of last year, like May, I guess, that people were telling me about and I started getting into. Obviously, I CBS has it going on. I'm just gonna be honest. And I like, their what is it, their fire country, a sheriff country. I do like their NCIS, they CI. Oh, I love all of those. And so I started to hear about Marshalls and Dutton Ranch. What do we know what channel those come on? I feel like NBC and CBS are, they out there. And then you got ABC, and ABC, they over here playing. I'm not sure what they're doing. I hear that Dancing with the Stars. That's what I know about ABC. That is my show, Dawn Elspeth. That girl is crazy. So they got Dancing with the Stars. They got The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Paradise in Love, and things like that. I don't watch any of those, so I guess that's why I'm so disconnected from ABC. Have you watched Traders? So my sister watches Traders. Rebecca, she watches it. She talks about it all the time, but I've never caught it. So I might have to because she talks about it. The Gilded Age on HBO. Yes, I started off a few years ago when it first came on. Me and Marissa, she is the host of the Lone Star Retreat. We started off doing like gentry and like we would do discussions and things like that on just the age, whether or not the clothing and everything kind of fit the time and things. Um, Obviously, if you've ever taken art history and things like that in college, they go through that. They go through gentry. They go through, the fashion of the time because it was all captured in artwork and stuff. Obviously, reading also kind of tells you about the time. So Gilded Age is one, that I feel is really kind of true to its era and things. We did compare it a lot to Bridgerton because Bridgerton was coming out, and they were doing some fashion forward things when it comes to, the time. I tried to be loose in my criticism on Bridgerton because Bridgerton happened during the Edwardian era, and that was a time where because the king was incapacitated, he was mentally incapacitated and things, and his son was in office, a lot of things slid. And so on top of that, became not as free as it is in 2026, but it did become just a freer time for the people in the time. And so I did do a lot, I do like Gilded Age a lot. Landmark was good too. Landman. Okay. Landman. Anybody watch Married at First Sight where Sean did a wipe down instead of a shower on his wedding night? Stop it, Marla. Let me tell you my experience. Was it Married at First Sight? Yeah, my experience with Married at First Sight. It's been a few years, probably 2022, because my mom was watching it at this point, and so that'd be 2022, 2023. Because she moved to Ohio in 2023. So I believe the lady met her gentleman when he was getting out of jail. And she went to go pick him up, and they went to get acquainted in the ditch outside the jail. So it's not shocking me that Sean did a wipe down on wedding night when this was, how she met her husband. And then they left the ditch and they went to get hitched. I believe it's CBS, but I watch them on Paramount. Yeah, Paramount Plus is CBS. So, yep, we're on the same page there, Jer Bear. Marla is bad. So, Elsbeth, let me tell you guys, if you guys have not seen this show, please go and watch it. You guys remember, what is it? What About Todd or something? Um, I liked that show also. And I'm not sure like what occurred and why. I don't believe it was ratings, but there were a series of shows that they let go last year. What About Todd or something like that was one of them. I really enjoyed that, and I used to watch it along with Elsbeth. But I am glad they kept Elsbeth around. Hopefully we can get a reboot. I know when they reboot, like ABC picks up the reboots and things like that. Maybe, maybe. But that was such a good little show and things. So hopefully somebody gets them. I never been that hot to trot. Marla, you remind me of Lizzie. Lizzie be. Oh goodness. Oh, did y'all wish my girl Lizzie a happy birthday? She had a birthday. It was Saturday, but she had to work and things over the weekend and stuff. So, I had to work on her birthday. We couldn't celebrate until after I got off. We sat right here. We did the birthday face chat. She got to obviously I sent her what she want. No, what Clem told me she wanted. Okay. And so we got to sit here and I ate, she ate, we sang happy birthday, and we had to do the birthday the same exact way we always do and stuff. But we had a good time. I really have been missing her because I hadn't seen her in a few days, like 4 or 5 days and things like that. And then she had to go to bed early that night. So we only got to spend like 3 hours together on chat, FaceTime. But I did at least get a chance to see her, sing happy birthday to her, and make sure you guys head over. I'm pretty sure her whipping chat should be coming out today or tomorrow for this week. But I do believe she finished her canvas. I know she was almost done, but she had started sealing and gluing as she went. So we're gonna see if this collab lasts next year. It might be something else next year, but this was a headache for both of us. But she sounds so good. I was getting on her the other day, like, you get on here with me and I hear all your broke down stories. And then you get in your little whipping chat and you sound so nice and polite. Oh, it gave me a little bit of a headache. Y'all don't hear her. She don't sound like that. Oh my God, the drill's getting on my last. I'm laughing, but my camera must not have liked me laughing at my girl Lizzie. She my bestie, so but she get on her whipping chats and she say the things so nicely. Her complaints are so soft, but when she's talking to me, these complaints, they are hardcore. When I say hardcore, she So I've been getting on her about that. Hopefully this week we gonna hear the real, when she starts talking about this canvas and how she glad that she's done and things like that. If we don't, just know I took the beating for you guys and I heard all of her frustrations. She let a lot of them come out. Um, um, uh, so the next thing is she got to shop also. So I believe she's gonna be thanking me for helping her shop. She got a nice birthday gift from her bestie, and shut you down with your imitations. I believe that too. I'm sorry. YouTube was like, look, you're not gonna be talking about our girl. You know, she hit over 2,000. She going strong. And so what if she not mean when she talk about her frustration? No, but she get it out on me. So we definitely had a good time kind of laughing about it. Her canvas is done also. She didn't pick hers up and get changed to the ground. So I definitely know she'll probably kind of go over that. And then I think, both of us are kind of just wondering, like, what are we going to be working on next? I have been cross stitching. You guys know I like to cross stitch and things like that. I don't know if I showed you guys. Let me see if you guys can see. There we go. That's a bag full of cross stitch projects. Yeah. A big old bag full of cross stitch projects. So I definitely, I probably should get, because this chair, it goes up and down. It's all the way down right now. I probably should get a footstool and things like that. But that's what I do in my craft room. I go in there, I relax and things. And I do like keeping my spaces separate. It was such a great idea what my kids came up with while I was gone. I really appreciate that. How do you guys craft? Do you guys have separate crafting spaces? Like, are you diamond painting in one area? Are you, crocheting in another area? Are you doing multiple crafts? One of the other things that I do a lot of is I do paint by number. And it's easy to do here at the desk also. So I've been doing that, alternating like my paint by number with my diamond painting and things like that. I do feel like I'm getting a lot of crafting in, especially in the role that I am in. So I'm just gonna, I had I had Lizzie cracking up the other day. I mean, she was laughing so hard. So I'm gonna give you guys an idea of basically what my new role is, okay? And then you guys can take it for what it is. You guys know that I have been licensed all over insurance for a long time. And so because of that, they were creating more of they call it a concierge type liaison type of role. Initially, the role is to ensure that you understand your coverages, whether it's because a lot of people are closing. If you close on your home and your mortgage company is requiring you to have certain coverages you're not familiar with, then you need your insurance agent to be able to kind of go over what you're getting and whether it's right or not for you and things like that. Same thing with auto. You could be at a dealership about to finance your vehicle, and the finance man, he don't care he just wants you to have it. And so you may buy on the fly and not understand. What ends up occurring is you go online, you get a quote, you set it up, and then you're not understanding what occurred. It creates frustration. And what happens? A lot of people cancel and they go elsewhere. So my company has a position that is sort of like a liaison, and we are kind of a mosh pit of information from, policy inception to claims. So one of the options that we are able to offer is the ability to assist you with closing your prior carrier out. Okay. What I tell people, and I had Lizzie cracking up, I told her basically, I'm the new boo, and I'm going with you, boo, to break up with your old boo. Imagine the awkwardness. And when we get there, your old boo is going to try to love on you. Go try and save the relationship. Oh, baby, please, please don't leave me, baby. I can give you this. I'll give you that. I act right. I get some get right in me. And then me as the new boo, I gotta be like, look here, you had your chance. Too bad. Go ahead on and break up, like she said. Go ahead on and give her back all of her stuff. She with me now. Okay. So that's in essence what I do. The frustration comes in where the old boo wants to argue with the new boo. And just to give you guys an idea, they always want to argue with the new boo. Always. They don't want to argue with the boo that is breaking up with them. They only want to argue with the new boo, me. So that just gives you guys an idea. So when people are like, "What do you do?" I couldn't really describe it because it's new. It's new, and there's never really been a position like this around. Um, you're the rebound relationship. I am definitely the rebound relationship, Kayleen. And then what we're trying to do is get them to stay, to retain. So we do that by loving up on them. We're going to offer, what the old boo wasn't able to offer. And then we're going to make sure that you feel comfortable reaching out to, these people are sending me emails like, I didn't tell you that. I don't know what do you want me to do? Hey, I helped you. So when I tell you that I sit here and I'm like, whew, that is the reason why I am diamond painting and painting and things like that, because they will argue. I had a lady the other day, shame on her. Shame on her. She sounded like she was 87 years old. She told me to shut up. And I did. So that's all I can say. I'm like, I'm not getting paid enough for this. Like, I'm not making a good average salary for someone with my license is going to be on the lower end, 70 grand, on the upper end, 100 grand. I'm not making that. I need to go back to drive for. Now, I was rich when I drove for Uber. Money all the time. I call myself trying to get right, have an actual tax-paying job where I don't have to shell out $6,000 like I did last year. And I'm the new boo. I'm the rebound relationship. But I don't argue. I'm very respectful. I just kind of sit there and like, mm-hmm. So the prior relationship, they were like, I'm done, I'm done. And I said, well, since she's saying she's, done, can you at least send confirmation? And then she told me, shut up. And I went right on back to plucking. And I get off. I think the lady was kind of offended. Like, I feel like I was out here advocating for myself. I was like, and you did a good job. I feel like she thought I should really, go one-to-one, be dapping out back and forth with her. And I'm like, I'm not doing that, we value you. We value you as a customer, and we are going to show you some love and things like that so you feel appreciated. Here's how we're going to do that. Our next step is, and so you're going to get a complete policy review. I'm going to review all of this information with you. I'm going to show you where you can find information. That way, if you ever need this information to send it somewhere, you want to buy a new car or you want to buy a new home, get a landlord policy, buy a condo and rent it out. You know where to find this information. But yeah, I don't think arguing with the previous person would have been ideal. What do you guys think? I think I handled that well. She told me to shut up and I did. Now, if that were Lizzie would have been like, I tell you to shut up all the time and you don't. Let me stop, because you two don't like when I pick on my bestie. Last resort, shut up, default meaning. I got nothing else I can argue with you about. I like that. Um, I literally was just like asking if she could just send a confirmation over that she had closed everything out, and the woman told me to shut up. uh, so yeah, you guys, I'm pretty sure you'll hear more endearing stories and things like that. Um, like I said, it's a new department. It's very new. It's not something that every company offers. As far as I know, we're the only one offering it. And so we irritating the hell out of everybody. Like, no, they didn't. I know they didn't. Leave us, go somewhere else, and then have the new boo call with them back to break up with us. What is going on? What kind of world is this? And they treat us like that too. Like, oh, here you go. How much they paying you. I've heard that a lot. I'm like, I'm just going to introduce myself and kind of give you their dates. But other than that, if you could send a confirmation, we'll be good to go. But I'm not doing nothing. They need to go ahead and find it on their own. Like, oh, that's why we're here, because y'all won't do anything for them, and we are. uh, yeah, So just introducing you guys to my day and to my world, and why I'm just sitting here all the time. Because after I do complete policy reviews and things, I mean, they reach out to me for everything. They've been in an accident, here I go. I don't adjust anymore. I don't. And I used to investigate auto accidents. I don't do any of that anymore. Now, auto investigation, liability investigation, we used to do it for not only just vehicles, but if something happens in your home, an adjuster is assigned and they have to come out, especially if your damages that you're reporting doesn't seem to align with, maybe what occurred, or you say your house, got blown away and flooded on this date. And unfortunately, there was no storm in the area. So now they're going to send, a special investigator out to investigate. I don't handle any of that anymore. I do have my sanity, you know, because no matter what, some like, especially when bodily injury was involved in things, like people don't want to be considered the at fault party. So they would fib all the time. So an investigation could, mean a lot of arguing and have a lot of tense conversations and things like that. And you want to always follow the book, because people want to impact your, livelihood if they don't like your determination. So I could say, hey, listen, this right here, this right here, this right here is our evidence and support as to why in this area or this state, here's the legal, law that was, and we did have to outline, what the legal law was that was disregarded. And then they still would be like, we're going to file, against you with the Department of Insurance. We're going to take your license and things. So that's stressful. Anytime someone doesn't like your determination, no matter how truthful and how much support that you're able to provide, they can still file. And then the Department of Insurance is who will, kind of investigate to kind of see. And the more of those you have, the more stressful it is, even though you can be cleared, and they're like, okay, you did a good job. You checked every box. We agree, with your information, like a scene recreation, a mock-up. You could have video at the scene and they still might not be happy. Oh, the camera angle, or how do I know you didn't? Everybody now is talking about AI distortion and things. So I'm the new boo. I'm the new boo. And, obviously, it's a good position because it does allow me to craft while, I'm assisting, I'm answering questions and things like that. I'm pulling, sorry, not I'm pulling from, several different areas of insurance. I've been licensed in every area of insurance: health, life, everything except financial. I've never taken the Series 7 or the Series 63. That's the only thing. And then when you do that, you do have to rescind some of your licenses. Obviously, you can't sell stocks and things like that, and annuities, and and life insurance and things like that. It's considered a conflict of interest and things. So I never taken a Series 7 or Series 63, but I've been licensed in every other aspect of insurance, and I can do everything in the U.S. and their territories. So that's crazy. Other than that, been having a good time. Again, I'm catching up on a lot of shows. I'm getting a lot of crafting done. So I definitely appreciate when you guys are sharing everything. Because when I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at stuff, it's helpful. It's helpful to have things to look at, to laugh at, and to be able to do. So I'm getting all my crafting done. Other than that, going to head on out. Make sure that you guys can join me Sunday. I go live at 7:30. Yes, I did move that time out half an hour. 7:30 Pacific on Sunday for live from the lily pad. I will actually be in the lily pad and not here at my diamond painting station. So I'm hoping that the weather kind of drops again. I needed to get under 100, at least under 100, before I can even mess with clay. It was down to 95 for, I want to say 4, maybe 5 days. And I did, get some work done, was able to kind of test. And that is the, like 95 or below is literally the temperature that I needed to be at for me to kind of get back to kind of playing with my clay and things like that. So wish me luck, kind of keep, praying and things. Like I said, it was 109 today. I don't know what the temperature is now, but 109 that's still way too high. So I'm not able to get a lot done. But once I am able to, and it's consistent, I will be reopening my Etsy store. I can't wait. I know it's gonna be cooler in Seattle. I do already have Seattle on my list. I'm leaving out September 11th. I'll be back on the 14th. That's going to be a nice, just relaxing weekend and things. A lot of people are kind of reining in on places that I should go and see while I'm there. And then you guys do know I'm going to the Lone Star Retreat in September as well. And I'll be leaving out Wednesday. I might go down. No, I'm going to go down Wednesday. I was thinking about going maybe Tuesday, but I'm going to go down Wednesday and I'm staying until either Sunday or Monday in San Antonio. You know how I feel about San Antonio? It is my favorite city that I go to every year. So I'm really looking forward to that retreat. Make sure you guys stay tuned because Rochelle does host the retreat before the retreat. We always have a lot of fun kind of getting together. Going down with my roomie, you guys know Shelzaba. Shelly, she's been on the show a couple of times. She cross stitches with me and diamond paints, but she's like my travel buddy. She's the one that I go to the cross stitch cruises with. We are going on a 12-day cruise next year. Obviously, we'll keep you posted. The unfortunate part is last year when we was on our cruise, I was the only one that took out the internet package. I will be taking out the internet package again, but it wasn't something that I could like upload and things like that. We were in international waters and things like that. It really was just so that I could, watch some YouTube. I could stay connected through Facebook. I don't even remember if I was on TikTok. I just remember Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. But I did take out the internet package. Nobody else took it out. We was gone, 7 or 10 days. So it's going to be interesting to see, what people are taking out for a 12-day cruise. We're gonna see. Anyway, I will definitely keep you guys posted on that. Mingle in the Mitten, that is in May. That's coming up. I do believe that's on my radar for next year. I definitely am going back to St. Louis, Tall Oaks. So if you guys are in the vicinity, Marquita, Quita, Kiki, um, Gail, I know that you guys are not too far, so maybe we could do a mini, meetup. Yeah, mini meetup, and kind of just have a day out, enjoying ourselves and things. Hopefully, y'all's work on 70 will be done, so we can get up and down this highway with no problems and things like that. And let's see, obviously I wanted to add some more retreats next year. I am thinking about the one that is hosted by Ditzy, I think. Ditzy Diamond. I forget who she hosts that with. And then also Jenny Polly, the Uncrafty Crafter, and her sister. They are hosting like more of an autumn type fall fest retreat. And I'm trying to get more information so maybe I can add that one. So if you guys hear anything, you guys know the drill. Post it in Palm Pal Pins and Friends. I will be so appreciative because that's my goal, to kind of get out here, meet as many of you as possible, get to these different areas and just have a good time crafting. And Gail's in the area too. So, just kind of meeting up, having a good time, going to lunch or something. I know that we had a good time. We spent a few hours at a cross stitch store just outside of St. Louis, and we had a ball. We had a ball. And so, pick a place for us to go meet up at. They have lounge chairs there. We can go. Now, we do spend money. My son gave me $150 to kind of have a ball, and I spent almost all of it in a cross stitch store. I didn't feel guilty at all either. Like, they were like, "You going? Nope, I'm gonna spend all of this right now. That's what he gave it to me for. I'm gonna make sure I comply." um, so with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and go. And thank you guys for coming out tonight. I hope to see you all Sunday on Live from the Lily Pad. I will obviously be in the lily pad having a good time crafting, and chit chat with you guys then. Have a good night, all. Thank you so very much for coming. Again, one more live for hashtag Blast from the Past. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for anybody in the chat, so make sure you guys make it a point to come out. And then I will be doing a giveaway next Monday or Tuesday on the actual Facebook page for everybody who participated and enjoyed themselves for the Blast from the Past collab. Okay. Thank you. Have a good night, all. Bye.